Alright, sending out our go live messages now. And today I am going to be starting with something a little different. I was looking through public domain books, public domain works. Particularly, I had been introduced to the Gutenberg project and was interested in seeing some of the stuff there. Now, having done a little research, I can do anything I want with these works. That said, something like, recording over them and trying to sell that on Amazon is a whole other thing. They don't allow that kind of thing. But if I'm just here on Twitch, I am perfectly legally allowed to use them as I wish. My thought is, if people are interested, I will go ahead and make a habit of doing some reading on stream. This one in particular, let me see if I can full screen this. Can I? Alright, just a moment. Full screen on or off is... Oh, hell. 3-dot hamburger menu, zoom, full screen. Cool. Zoom? Question mark? Alright, just a moment. We're getting there. We're getting there. Probably. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm looking right at it and just not seeing it, because that's entirely possible. Zoom, there we are. Full screen, okay. Which hopefully will mean that when I go to here... what if I... Okay, it ostensibly captures any full screen application, but for some reason I cannot seem to get it to show up. Okay. In the future, my goal will be to get it on screen while I'm reading it, just so people can look at what I've got as far as the source goes. But for now, I will go ahead and read from the top the OSS Simple Sabotage Field Manual. On the cover here we have Simple Sabotage Field Manual, Strategic Services, Provisional, prepared under the Director of Strategic Services. Simple Sabotage Field Manual, Office of Strategic Services, OSS Reproduction Branch, Simple Sabotage Field Manual, Strategic Services Provisional, Strategic Services Field Manual Number 3. Office of Strategic Services, Washington, D.C., 17th of January, 1944. The Simple Sabotage Field Manual, Strategic Services Provisional, is published for the information of all concerned and will be used as the base doctrine for strategic services naming for this subject. The contents of this manual should be carefully controlled and should not be allowed to come into unauthorized hands. The instructions may be placed in separate pamphlets or leaflets according to categories of operation, but should be distributed with care and not broadly. They should be used as a basis of radio broadcasts only for local and special cases as directed by the theater commander. AR 380-5 pertaining to the handling of secret documents. will be complied with in the handling of this manual. And there's a signature from William J. Donovan. Contents: 1. Introduction to possible effects. 3. Motivating the saboteur. 4. Tools, targets, and timing. 5. Specific suggestions for simple sabotage. Introduction. The purpose of this paper is to characterize simple sabotage, to outline its possible effects, and to present suggestions for inciting and executing it. Sabotage varies from highly technical coup de main acts that require detailed planning and the use of specially trained operatives, to innumerable simple acts which the ordinary individual citizen saboteur can perform. This paper is primarily concerned with the latter type. Simple sabotage does not require specially prepared tools or equipment. It is executed by an ordinary citizen who may or may not act individually and without necessity for active connection with an organized group, and is carried out in such a way as to involve a minimum danger of injury, detection, and reprisal. Where destruction is involved, the weapons of the citizen saboteur are salt, nails, candles, pebbles, thread, or any other materials that might normally be expected to possess as a householder, or as a worker in a particular occupation. His arsenal is the kitchen shelf, the trash pile, his own usual kit of tools and supplies. The targets of his sabotage are usually objects to which he has normal and inconspicuous access in everyday life. A second type of simple sabotage requires no destructive tools whatsoever and produces physical damage, if any, by highly indirect means. It is based on universal opportunities to make faulty decisions, to adopt a non-cooperative attitude, and to induce others to follow suit. Making a faulty decision may simply be a matter of placing tools in one spot instead of another. A non-cooperative attitude may involve nothing more than creating an unpleasant situation among one's fellow workers, engaging in bickerings, or displaying surliness and stupidity. This type of activity, sometimes referred to as the human element, is frequently responsible for accidents, delays, and general obstruction even under normal conditions. The potential saboteur should discover what types of faulty decisions and the operations are normally found in his kind of work, and should then devise his sabotage so as to enlarge that margin for error. 2. Possible effects. Acts of simple sabotage are occurring throughout Europe. An effort should be made to add to their efficiency, lessen their detectability, and increase their number. Acts of simple sabotage multiplied by thousands of citizen saboteurs can be an effective weapon against the enemy. Slashing tires, draining fuel tanks, pardon me, it just scrolled without me just a moment. Slashing tires, draining fuel tanks, starting fires, starting arguments, acting stupidly, short-circuiting electric systems, abrading machine parts, will waste materials, manpower, and time. Occurring on a wide scale, simple sabotage will be a constant and tangible drag on the war effort of the enemy. Simple sabotage may also have secondary results of more or less value. Widespread practice of simple sabotage will harass and demoralize enemy administrators and police. Further success may embolden the citizen saboteur to find colleagues who can assist him in sabotage of greater dimensions. Finally, the very practice of simple sabotage by natives in enemy or occupied territory may make these individuals identify themselves actively with the United Nations war effort and encourage them to assist openly in periods of Allied invasion and occupation. 3. Motivating the saboteur. To incite the citizen to the active practice of simple sabotage and to keep him practicing that sabotage over sustained periods is a special problem. Simple sabotage is often an act which the citizen performs according to his own initiative and inclination. Acts of destruction do not bring him any personal gain and may be completely foreign to his habitually conservationist attitude. Hoard materials and tools. Purposeful stupidity is contrary to human nature. He frequently needs pressure, stimulation or assurance, and information and suggestions regarding feasible methods of simple sabotage. 1. Personal motives. A. The ordinary citizen very probably has no immediate personal motive for committing simple sabotage. Instead, he must be made to anticipate direct personal gain, such as might come with enemy evacuation or destruction of the ruling government group. Gain should be stated as specifically as possible for the area addressed. Simple sabotage will hasten the day when Commissioner X and his deputies Y and Z will be thrown out, when particularly obnoxious decrees and restrictions will be abolished, when food will arrive, and so on. Abstract verbalizations about personal liberty, freedom of the press, and so on will not be convincing in most parts of the world. In many areas they will not even be comprehensible. B. Since the effect of his own acts is limited, the saboteur may become discouraged unless he feels that he is a member of a large, though unseen, group of saboteurs operating against the enemy or the government of his own country and elsewhere. This can be conveyed indirectly, suggestions which he reads and hears to include observations that a particular technique has been successful in this or that district. Even if the technique is not applicable to his surroundings, another's success will encourage him to attempt similar acts. It can also be conveyed directly. Statements praising the effectiveness of simple sabotage can be contrived which will be published by white radio, freedom stations, and the subversive press. Estimates of the proportion of the population engaged in sabotage can be disseminated. Instances of successful sabotage already are being broadcast by white radio and freedom stations, and should be continued and expanded where compatible with security. C. More important than A or B, would be to create a situation in which the citizen saboteur acquires a sense of responsibility and begins to educate others in simple sabotage. 2. Encouraging destructiveness. It should be pointed out to the saboteur, where circumstances are suitable, that he is acting in self-defense against the enemy or retaliating against the enemy for other acts of destruction. A reasonable amount of humor in the presentation of suggestions for simple sabotage will relax tensions of fear. A. The saboteur may have to reverse his thinking, that he should be told this in so many words. Where he formerly thought of keeping his tools sharp, he should now let them grow dull. Surfaces that formerly were lubricated now should be sanded. Normally diligent, he should now be lazy and careless, and so on. Once he is encouraged to think backwards about himself and the objects of his everyday life, the saboteur will see many opportunities in his immediate environment which cannot possibly be seen from a distance. A state of mind should be encouraged that anything can be sabotaged. B. Among the potential citizen saboteurs who are to engage in physical destruction, two extreme types may be distinguished. On one hand, there is the man who is not technically trained and employed. This man needs specific suggestions as to what he can and should destroy, as well as details regarding the tools by which his means of destruction may be accomplished. C. At the other extreme is the man who is a technician, such as a lathe operator or an automobile mechanic. Presumably this man would be able to devise methods of simple sabotage which would be appropriate to his own facilities. However, this man needs to be stimulated to reorient his thinking in the direction of destruction. Specific examples, which need not be from his own field, should accomplish this. D. Various media may be used to disseminate suggestions and information regarding simple sabotage. Among the media which may be used as the immediate situation dictates, are freedom stations or radio false, unreadable broadcasts, or leaflets may be directed towards specific geographic or occupational areas, or they may be generally in scope. Finally, agents may be trained in the art of simple sabotage, in anticipation of a time when they may be able to communicate this information directly. 3. Safety measures. A. The amount of activity carried on by the saboteur will be governed not only by the number of opportunities he sees, but also by the amount of danger he feels. Bad news travels fast, and simple sabotage will be discouraged if too many simple saboteurs are arrested. B. It should not be difficult to prepare leaflets and other media for the saboteur about his choice of weapons, time, and targets, which will ensure the saboteur against detection and retaliation. Among such suggestions might be the following. 1. Use materials which appear to be innocent. A knife or nail file can be carried normally on your person, either a multi-purpose instrument for creating damage. Matches, pebbles, hair, salt, nails, and dozens of other destructive agents, which can be carried or kept in your living quarters without arousing any suspicion whatever. If you are a worker in a particular trade or industry, you can easily carry and keep such things as wrenches, hammers, emery paper, and the like. 2. Try to commit acts for which large numbers of people could be responsible. For instance, if you blow out the wiring in a factory, in a central firebox, almost anyone could have done it. On the street sabotage after dark, such as you might be able to carry out against a military car or truck, is another example of an act for which it would be impossible to blame you. 3. Do not be afraid to commit acts for which you might be blamed directly, so long as you do so rarely and so long as you have a plausible excuse. You dropped your wrench across an electric circuit because an air raid had kept you up the night before and you were half dozing at work. Always be profuse in your apologies. Frequently you can get away with such acts under the cover of pretending stupidity, ignorance, overcaution, fear of being suspected of sabotage, or weakness and dullness due to undernourishment. After you have committed an act of easy sabotage, resist any temptation to wait around and see what happens. Loiterers arouse suspicion. Of course, there are circumstances when it would be suspicious for you to leave. If you commit sabotage on your job, you should naturally stay at your work. 4. Tools, targets, and timing. The citizen saboteur cannot be closely controlled, nor is it reasonable to expect that simple sabotage can be precisely concentrated on specific types of target according to the requirements of the concrete military situation. Attempts to control simple sabotage according to developing military factors, moreover, might provide the enemy with intelligence of more or less value in anticipating the date and area of notably intensified or notably slackened military activity. Sabotage suggestions, of course, should be adapted to fit the area where they are to be practiced. Target priorities for general types of situations, likewise, can be specified for emphasis at the proper time by the underground press, freedom stations, and cooperating propaganda. 1. Under general conditions. A. Simple sabotage is more than malicious mischief, and should always consist of acts whose results will be detrimental to the materials and manpower of the enemy. B. The saboteur should be ingenious in using everyday equipment. All sorts of weapons will present themselves if he looks at his surroundings in a different light. For example, emery dust, a powerful weapon, may at first seem unobtainable, but if the saboteur were to pulverize an enemy knife sharpener or emery wheel with a hammer, he would find himself with a plentiful supply. The saboteur should never attack targets beyond his capacity or the capacity of his instruments. An inexperienced person should not, for example, attempt to use explosives, but should confine himself to the use of matches or other familiar weapons. D. The saboteur should try to damage only objects or materials known to be in use by the enemy, or to be destined for early use by the enemy. It will be safe for him to assume that almost any product of heavy industry is destined for enemy use, and that the most efficient fuels and lubricants are also destined for enemy use. Without special knowledge, however, it would be undesirable for him to attempt destruction of food crops or food products. E. Although the citizen saboteur may rarely have access to military objects, he should give these preference above all others. 2. Prior to a military offensive. During periods which are quiescent, in a military sense, such emphasis can be given to simple sabotage might well center on industrial production to lessen the flow of materials and equipment to the enemy. Slashing a rubber tire on an army truck may be an act of value. Spoiling a batch of rubber in the production plant is an act of still more value. 3. During a military offensive. A. Most significant sabotage for an area which is or soon destined to be a theater of combat operations, is that whose effects will be direct and immediate. Even if the effects are relatively minor and localized, this type of sabotage is to be preferred to activities whose effects, while widespread, are indirect and delayed. 1. The saboteur should be encouraged to attack transportation facilities of all kinds. Among such facilities are roads, railroads, automobiles, trucks, motorcycles, bicycles, trains, and trams. Any communications facilities which can be used by the authorities to transmit instructions or morale material should be the objects of simple sabotage. These include telephone, telegraph, and power systems, radio, newspapers, placards, and public notices. 3. Critical materials, valuable in themselves or necessary to the efficient functioning of transportation and communication, should also become targets for the citizen saboteur. These may include oil, gasoline, tires, food, and water. 5. Specific suggestions for simple sabotage. It will not be possible to evaluate the desirability of simple sabotage in an area without having in mind, rather specifically, what individual acts and results are embraced by the definition of simple sabotage. A listing of specific acts follows, classified according to types of target. This list is presented as a growing rather than a complete outline of the methods of simple sabotage. As new techniques are developed or new fields explored, it will be elaborated and expanded. 1. Buildings. Warehouses, barracks, offices, hotels, and factory buildings are outstanding sources of targets for simple sabotage. They are extremely susceptible to damage, especially by fire. They offer opportunities to such untrained people as janitors, charwomen, and casual visitors, and when damaged, they present a relatively large handicap to the enemy. A. Fires can be started whenever or wherever there is an accumulation of inflammable material. Warehouses are obviously the most promising types of targets, but incendiary sabotage need not be confined to them alone. 1. Whenever possible, arrange to have the fire start after you have gone away. Use a candle and paper combination, setting it as close as possible to the inflammable material you want to burn. From a sheet of paper, tear a strip 3 or 4 centimeters wide, and wrap it around the base of the candle 2 to 3 times. Twist more sheets of paper into the loose ropes, then place them around the base of the candle. When the candle flame reaches the encircling strip, it will be ignited, and will in turn ignite the surrounding paper. The size, heat, and duration of the resulting flame will depend on how much paper you use, and how much of it you can cramp in a small space. 2. With a flame of this kind, do not attempt to ignite any but rather inflammable materials such as cotton sacking. To light more resistant materials, use a candle plus a tightly rolled or twisted paper which has been soaked in gasoline. To create a briefer but even hotter flame, put celluloid, as you might find in an old comb, into a nest of plain or saturated paper, which is to be fired by a candle. To make another type of simple fuse, soak one end of a piece of string in grease. Rub a generous pinch of gunpowder over the inch of string where greasy string meets clean string, then ignite the clean end of the string. It will burn slowly without a flame, in much the same way that a cigarette burns, until it reaches the grease and gunpowder. It will then flare up suddenly. The grease-treated string will then burn with a flame. The same effect may be achieved by using matches instead of the grease and gunpowder. Run the string over the match heads, taking care that the string is not pressed or knotted. They too will produce a sudden flame. The advantage of this type of fuse is that string burns at a set speed. You can time your fire by the length and thickness of the string you choose. Use a fuse. 4. Use a fuse, such as the ones suggested above, to start a fire in an office after hours. The destruction of records and other types of documents would be a serious handicap to the enemy. 5. In basements where waste is kept, janitors should accumulate oily and greasy waste. Such waste sometimes ignites spontaneously, but it can be easily lit with a cigarette or match. If you are a janitor on night duty, you can be the first to report the fire, but don't report it too soon. 6. A clean factory is not susceptible to fire, but a dirty one is. Workers should be careless with refuse, and janitors should be inefficient in cleaning. If enough dirt and trash can be accumulated in an otherwise fireproof building, it will become inflammable. Where illuminating gas is used in a room which is vacant at night, shut the windows tightly, turn on the gas, and leave a candle burning in the room, closing the door tightly behind you. After a time, the gas will explode and a fire may or may not follow. B. Water and miscellaneous. 1. Ruin warehouse stock by setting the automatic sprinkler system to work. You can do this by tapping the sprinkler heads sharply with a hammer or by holding a match under them. 2. Forget to provide paper in toilets. Put tightly rolled paper, hair, and other obstructions in the WC. Saturate a sponge with thick starch or sugar solution. Squeeze it tightly into a ball, wrap it with string, and dry. Remove the string when fully dried. The sponge will be in the form of a tight, hard ball. Flush down a WC or otherwise introduce into a sewer line. The sponge will gradually expand to its normal size and plug the sewage system. 3. Put a coin beneath a bulb in a public building during the daytime so that fuses will blow out when the lights are turned on at night. The fuses themselves may be rendered ineffective by putting a coin behind them or by loading them with heavy wire. Then a short circuit may either start a fire, damage transformers, or blow out a central fuse, which will interrupt distribution of electricity to a large area. 4. Jam paper, bits of wood, hairpins, and anything else that will fit into the locks of all unguarded entrances to public buildings. 2. Industrial production, manufacturing. A. Tools. 1. Let cutting tools grow dull. They will be inefficient, will slow down production, and may damage the materials and parts that you use them on. 2. Leave saws slightly twisted when you are not using them. After a while, they will break when used. 3. Using a very rapid stroke will wear out a file before its time. So will dragging a file in slow strokes under heavy pressure. Exert pressure on the backward stroke as well as the forward stroke. 4. Clean files by knocking them against the vise or workpiece. They are easily broken this way. 5. Bits and drills will snap under heavy pressure. 6. You can put a press punch out of order by putting it in more material than it is adjusted for, 2 blanks instead of 1, for example. 7. Power-driven tools, like pneumatic drills, riveters, and so on, are never efficient when dirty. Lubrication points and electric contacts can be easily fouled by normal accumulations of dirt or the insertion of foreign matter. B. Oil and lubrication systems are not only vulnerable to easy sabotage, but are critical in every machine with moving parts. Sabotage of oil and lubrication will slow production or stop work entirely at strategic points in industrial processes. 1. Put metal dust or filings, fine sand, ground glass, emery dust, get it by pounding up an emery knife sharpener, and similar hard, gritty substances directly into lubrication systems. They will scour smooth surfaces, ruining pistons, cylinder walls, shafts, and bearings. They will overheat and stop motors, which will need overhauling, new parts, and extensive repairs. Such I apologize, my microphone disconnected. 2. You can cause wear on any machine by uncovering a filter system, poking a pencil or any other sharp object through the filter mesh, then covering it up, which would again, or you can dispose of it quickly. If you can dispose of it quickly, simply remove the filter. 3. If you cannot get at the lubrication system or filter directly, you may be able to lessen the effectiveness of oil by diluting it in storage. In this case, almost any liquid will do, which will thin the oil. A small amount of sulfuric acid, varnish, water glass, or linseed oil will be especially effective. 4. Using a thin oil where a heavy oil is prescribed. It will break down a machine or heat up a moving shaft so that it will freeze and stop. 5. Put any clogging substance into lubrication systems, or if it will float, into stored oil. Twisted combings of human hair, pieces of string, dead insects, and many other common objects will be effective in stopping or hindering the flow of oil through feed lines and filters. 6. Under some circumstances, you may be able to destroy oil outright rather than interfere with its effectiveness by removing stop plugs from lubricating systems or by puncturing the drums and cans in which it is stored. E. Cooling systems. 1. A water cooling system can be put out of commission in a fairly short time with considerable damage to an engine or motor. If you put into it several pinches of hard grain, such as rice or wheat, they will swell up and choke the circulation of water, and the cooling system will have to be torn down to remove the obstruction. Sawdust or hair may also be used to clog a water cooling system. 2. If very cold water is quickly introduced into the cooling system of an overheated motor, contraction and considerable strain on the engine housing will result. You can repeat the treatment a few times, cracking and serious damage. If you can repeat the treatment a few times, cracking and serious damage will result. 3. You can ruin the effectiveness of an air cooling system by plugging dirt and waste into intake or exhaust valves. If a belt-run fan is used in the system, make a jagged cut at least halfway through the belt. It will slip and finally part under strain and the motor will overheat. D. Gasoline and oil fuel tanks and fueling engines are usually accessible and easy to open. They afford a very vulnerable target for simple sabotage activities. Put several pinches of sawdust or hard grain, such as rice or wheat, into the fuel tank of a gasoline engine. The particles will choke a feed line so that the engine will stop. Some time will be required to discover the source of the trouble. Although they will be hard to get, crumbs of natural rubber Crumbs of natural rubber, such as you might find in old rubber bands and pencil erasers, are also effective. 2. If you can accumulate sugar, put it in the fuel tank of a gasoline engine. As it burns together with the gasoline, it will quickly turn into a sticky mess which will completely mire the engine and necessitate extensive cleaning and repair. Honey and molasses are as good as sugar. Try to use 75 to 100 grams for each 10 gallons of gasoline. 3. Other impurities which you can introduce into gasoline will cause rapid engine wear and eventual breakdown. Fine particles of pumice, sand, ground glass, and metal dust can be easily introduced into a gasoline tank. Be sure that the particles are very fine so that they will be able to pass through the carburetor jet. 4. Water, urine, wine, or any other simple liquid you can get in reasonably large quantities will dilute gasoline fuel to a point where no combustion will occur in the cylinder and the engine will not move. 1 pint to 20 gallons of gasoline is sufficient. If salt water is used, it will cause corrosion and permanent motor damage. 5. In the case of diesel engines, put a low flashpoint oil into the fuel tank. The engines will not move. If there already is proper oil in the tank, when the wrong kind is added, the engine will only limp and sputter along. 6. Fuel lines to gasoline and oil engines frequently pass over the exhaust pipe. When the machine is at rest, you can stab a small hole in the fuel line and plug the hole with wax. As the engine runs, the exhaust pipe becomes hot, the wax will be melted, fuel will drip onto the exhaust, and a blaze will start. I'm sorry, I just plugged it back in. 7. If you have access to a room where gasoline is stored, remember that gas vapor accumulating in a closed room will explode after a time if you leave a candle burning in the room. A good deal of evaporation, however, must occur from the gasoline tins into the air of the room. If the removal of the tops of the tins does not expose enough gasoline to the air to ensure copious evaporation, you can open lightly constructed tins further with a knife, ice pick, or sharpened nail file. One puncture or a tiny hole in the tank which will permit gasoline to leak out on the floor. This will greatly increase the rate of evaporation. Before you light your candle, be sure the windows are closed and the room is as airtight as you can make it. If you see that the windows in a neighboring room are opened wide, you will have a chance of setting a large fire, which will not only destroy the gasoline, but anything else nearby. When the gasoline explodes, the doors of the storage room will be blown open. A draft in the neighboring windows will be created, which will whip up a fine conflagration. E. Electric motors. Electric motors, including dynamos, are more restricted than the targets so far discussed. They cannot be sabotaged easily or without risk of injury by unskilled persons who may otherwise have good opportunities for destruction. 1. Set the rheostat to a high point of resistance in all types of electric motors. They will overheat and catch fire. 2. Adjust the overload relay to a very high value beyond the capacity of the motor. Then overload the motor to a point where it will overheat and break down. Remember that dust, dirt, and moisture are enemies of electrical equipment. Spill dust and dirt onto the points where the wires in electric motors connect with terminals and onto insulating parts. Inefficient transmission of current, and in some cases short circuits, will result. Wet generator motors to produce short circuits. 4. Accidentally bruise the insulation on wire, loosen nuts on connections, make faulty splices and faulty connections in wiring to waste electric current and reduce the power of electric motors, the power output, or cause short-circuiting in direct current motors. Loosen or remove the commutator holding rings. Sprinkle carbon, graphite, or metal dust on commutators. Put a little grease or oil at the contact points of commutators. Where the commutator bars are close together, bridge the gaps between them with metal dust, or sawtooth their edges with chisel so that the teeth on adjoining bars meet or nearly meet, and current can pass from one to the other. 6. Put a finely grained emery paper half the size of a postage stamp in a place where it will wear away the rotating brushes. The emery paper and the motor will be destroyed in the resulting fire. 7. Sprinkle carbon, graphite, or metal dust on slip rings so that the current will leak or short circuits will occur. When a motor is idle, nick the slip rings with a chisel. Cause motor stoppage or inefficiency by applying dust mixed with grease to the face of the armature so that it will not make proper contact. 9. To overheat electric motors, mix sand with heavy grease and smear it between the stator and rotor, or wedge thin metal pieces to prevent the efficient generation of current. Put floor sweepings, oil, tar, or paint between them. 10. In motors using three-phase current, deeply nick one of the lead-in wires with a knife or file when the machine is at rest, or replace one of the three fuses with a blown-out fuse. In the first case, the motor will stop after running a while, and in the second, it will not start. F. Transformers. 1. Transformers of the oil-filled type can be put out of commission if you pour water, salt water, machine tool coolant, or kerosene into the oil tank. 2. In air-cooled transformers, block the ventilation by piling debris around the transformer. 3. In all types of transformers, throw carbon, graphite, or metal dust over the outside brushings and other exposed electrical parts. G. Turbines, for the most part, are heavily built, stoutly housed, and difficult to access. Their vulnerability to simple sabotage is very low. 1. After inspecting or repairing a hydroturbine, fasten the cover insecurely so that it will blow off and flood the plant with water. A loose cover on a steam turbine will cause it to leak and slow down. 2. In water turbines, insert a large piece of scrap iron into the head of the penstock just beyond the screening so that water will carry the damaging material down to the plant equipment. 3. When the steam line to a turbine is opened for repair, put pieces of scrap iron into it, to be blasted into the turbine machinery when steam is up again. 4. Create a leak in the line feeding oil to the turbine so that the oil will fall on the hot steam pipe and cause a fire. H. Boilers. 1. Reduce the efficiency of steam boilers in any way you can. Put too much water in them to make them slow starting, or keep the fire under them low to keep them inefficient. Let them dry, and turn the fire up, they will crack and be ruined. An especially good trick is to keep putting limestone or water-containing lime in the boiler. It will deposit lime on the bottom and sides. This deposit will provide very good insulation against heat after enough of it has been collected. The boiler will be completely worthless. 3. Production, metals. A. Iron and steel. 1. Keep blast furnaces in a condition where they must frequently be shut down for repair. In making fireproof bricks for the inner lining of blast furnaces, put in an extra proportion of tar so that they will wear out quickly and necessitate constant relining. 2. Make cores for casting so that they are filled with air bubbles and an imperfect cast results. 3. See that the core in a mold is not properly supported so that the core gives way or the casting is spoiled because of the incorrect position of the core. 4. In tempering steel or iron, apply too much heat so that the resulting bars and ingots are of poor quality. B. Other metals. No suggestions available. 4. Production, mining and material extraction. A. Coal. 1. A slight blow against your Davy oil lamp will extinguish it. To light it again, you will have to find a place where there is no fire damp. Take a long time looking for the place. 2. Blacksmiths who make pneumatic picks should not harden them properly, so that they will quickly grow dull. 3. You can easily put your pneumatic pick out of order. Pour a small amount of water through the oil lever, and your pick will stop working. Coal dust and improper lubrication will also put it out of order. 4. Weaken the chain that pulls the bucket conveyors carrying coal. A deep dent into the chain made with blows or a pick or shovel will cause it to part under normal strain. Once a chain breaks, normally or otherwise, take your time about reporting the damage. Be slow about taking the chain up for repairs and bringing it back down after repairs. 5. Derail mine cars by putting obstructions on the rails and switch points. If possible, pick a gallery where the coal cars have to pass each other so that traffic will be snarled up. 6. Send up quantities of rock and other useless material with the coal. 5. Production, agriculture. A. Machinery. See Part 5b, 2, C, D, and E. B. Crops and livestock will probably be destroyed only in areas where there are large food surpluses or where the enemy regime is known to be requisitioning food. Feed crops to livestock. Let crops harvest too early or too late. Spoil stores of grain, fruit, and vegetables by soaking them in water so that they will rot. Spoil fruit and vegetables by leaving them in the sun. 6. Transportation, railways. A. Passengers. 1. Make train travel as inconvenient as possible for enemy personnel. Make mistakes in issuing train tickets, leaving portions of the journey uncovered by the ticket book. Issue 2 tickets for the same seat in the train so that an interesting argument will result. Near train time, instead of issuing printed tickets, write them out slowly by hand, prolonging the process until the train is nearly ready to leave or has left the station. On station bulletin boards announcing train arrivals and departures, see that false and misleading information is given about trains bound for enemy destinations. 2. In trains bound for enemy destinations, attendants should make life as uncomfortable as possible for passengers. See that the food is especially bad, take up tickets after midnight, call all station stops very loudly during the night, handle baggage as noisily as possible during the night, and so on. 3. See that the luggage of enemy personnel is mislaid or unloaded at the wrong stations. Switch labels on enemy baggage. 4. Engineers should see that trains run slow or make unscheduled stops for plausible reasons. B. Switches, signals, and routing. 1. Exchange wires and switchboards containing signals and switches so that they connect to the wrong terminals. 2. Loosen push rods so that signal arms do not work, break signal lights. Exchange the colored lenses on red and green lights. 3. Spread and spike switch points in the track so that they will not move, or place rocks or close-packed dirt between the switch points. Sprinkle rock salt or ordinary salt profusely over the electrical connections of switch points and on the ground nearby. When it rains, the switch will be short-circuited. 5. See that cars are put on the wrong trains. Remove the labels from cars needing repair and put them on cars in good order. Leave couplings between cars as loose as possible. C. Roadbeds and open track. 1. On a curve, take the bolts out of the tie plates connecting to sections of the outside rail and scoop away the gravel, cinders, or dirt for a few feet on each side of the connecting joint. 2. If by disconnecting the tie plate at a joint and loosening sleeper nails on each side of the joint, it becomes possible to move a section of rail, spread 2 sections of rail, and drive a spike vertically between them. D. Oil and lubrication. See 5B, 2B. 2. Squeeze lubricating pipes with pinchers or dent them with hammers so that the flow of oil is obstructed. E. Cooling systems. See 5B, 2C. F. Gasoline and oil fuel. See 5B, 2D. G. Electric motors. See 5B, 2E and F. H. Boilers. See 5B, 2H. 2. After inspection, put heavy oil or tar in the engines, boilers, put half a kilogram of soft soap into the water in the tender. I. Brakes and miscellaneous. 1. Engines should be run at high speeds and use brakes excessively at curves and on downhill grades. 2. Punch holes in air brake valve or water supply pipes. 3. In the last car of a passenger train or the front car of a freight, remove wadding from a journal box and replace it with oily rags. 7. Transportation. Automotive. A. Roads. Damage to roads, 3 below, is slow and therefore impractical as a D-Day or near D-Day activity. 1. Change sign posts at intersections and forks. The enemy will go the wrong way, and it may be miles before he discovers his mistakes. In areas where traffic is composed primarily of enemy autos, trucks, and motor convoys of various kinds, remove danger signals from curves and intersections. 2. When the enemy asks for directions, give him the wrong information, especially when enemy convoys are in the neighborhood. Truck drivers can spread rumors and give false information about bridges being out, ferries closed, and detours lying ahead. 3. If you can start damage to a heavily traveled road, passing traffic, and the elements will do the rest. Construction gangs can see that too much sand or water is put in concrete, or that the road foundation has soft spots. Anyone can scoop ruts in asphalt and macadam roads, which turn hot in soft weather. Passing trucks will accentuate the ruts to a point where substantial repair will be needed. Dirt roads can also be scooped out. If you are a road laborer, it will be only a few minutes' work to divert a small stream from a sluice so that it runs over and eats away the road. 4. Distribute broken glass, nails, and sharp rocks on roads to puncture tires. B. Passengers. 1. Bus drivers can go past the stop where the enemy wants to get off. Taxi drivers can waste the enemy's time and make extra money by driving the longest possible route to his destination. C. Oil and lubrication. 1. C. 5B 2B. 2. Disconnect the oil pump. This will burn out the main bearings in less than 50 miles of normal driving. D. Radiator. 1. C5B 2C. E. Fuel. C5B 2D. F. Battery and ignition. 1. Jam bits of wood into the ignition lock. Loosen or exchange connections behind the switchboard. Put dirt in spark plugs. Damage distributor points. 2. Turn on the lights in parked cars so that the battery will run down. 3. Mechanics can ruin batteries in a number of undetectable ways. Take the valve cap off a cell and drive a screwdriver slantwise into the exposed water vent, shattering the plates of the cell. No damage will show when you put the cap back on. Iron or copper filings put into the cells, i.e. dropped into the acid, will greatly shorten its life. Copper coins or a few pieces of iron will accomplish the same and more slowly. 100 to 150 cubic centimeters of vinegar in each cell greatly reduces the life of the battery, but the odor of the vinegar may reveal what has happened. G. Gears. 1. Remove the lubricant from or put too light a lubricant in the transmission and other gears. 2. In the trucks, tractors, and other machines with heavy gear, fix the gear case insecurely, putting bolts in only half the bolt holes. The gears will be badly jolted in use and will soon need repairs. H. Tires. 1. Slash or puncture tires of unguarded vehicles. Put a nail inside a matchbox or other small box and set it vertically in front of the back tire of a stationary car. When the car starts off, the nail will go neatly through the tire. It is easy to damage a tire in a tire repair shop. 2. It is easy to damage a tire in a tire repair shop. In fixing flats, spill glass, benzene, caustic soda, or other material inside the casing, which will puncture or corrode the tube. If you put a gummy substance inside the tube, the next flat will stick the tube to the casing and make it unusable. Or, when you fix a flat tire, you can simply leave between the tube and casing the object which caused the flat in the first place. 3. In assembling a tire after repair, pump the tube up as fast as you can. Instead of filling out smoothly, it may crease, in which case it will wear out quickly. Or, as you put a tire together, if you can pinch the tube between the rim of the tire and the rim of the wheel so that a blowout will result. 4. Putting air into the tires to see that they are kept below normal pressure so that more than an ordinary amount of wear will result. In filling the tires on double wheels, inflate the inner tire to a much higher pressure than the outer one. Both will wear out more quickly this way. Badly aligned wheels also wear tires out quickly. You can leave wheels out of alignment when they come for adjustment, or you can spring them out of true with a strong kick or by driving the car slowly and diagonally into a curb. 5. If you have access to stocks of tires, you can rot them by spilling oil, gasoline, caustic acid, or benzene on them. Synthetic rubber, however, is less susceptible to these chemicals. 8. Transportation. Water. A. Navigation. 1. Barge and river boat personnel should spread false rumors about the navigability and conditions of the waterways they travel. Tell other barge and boat captains to follow channels that will take extra time or cause them to make canal detours. 2. Barge and riverboat captains should navigate with exceeding caution near locks and bridges to waste their time and to waste the time of other craft which may have to wait on them. If you don't pump the bilges of ships and barges often enough, they will be slower and harder to navigate. Barges accidentally run aground are an efficient time waster too. 3. Attendance on a swing, draw, or bascule bridges can delay traffic over the bridge or in the waterway underneath by being slow. Boat captains can leave unattended drawbridges open in order to hold up road traffic. 4. Add or subtract compensating magnets to the compass on cargo ships. Demagnetize the compass or maladjust it by concealing a large bar of steel or iron near it. B. Cargo. While loading or unloading, handle cargo carelessly in order to cause damage. Arrange the cargo so that the weakest and lightest crates and boxes will be at the bottom of the hold, while the heaviest ones are on top of them. Put hatch covers and tarpaulins on sloppily so that rain and deck wash will injure the cargo. Tie float valves open so the storage tanks will overflow on perishable goods. 9. Communications. A. Telephone. 1. At office, hotel, and exchange switchboards, delay putting enemy calls through, give them wrong numbers, cut them off accidentally, or forget to disconnect them so that the same line cannot be used again. 2. Hamper official and especially military business by making at least one telephone call a day to an enemy headquarters. When you get them, tell them you have the wrong number. Call military or police offices and make anonymous false reports of fires, air raids, bombs. 3. In offices and buildings used by the enemy, unscrew the earphone of telephone receivers and remove the diaphragm. Electricians and telephone repairmen can make poor connections and damage insulation so that crosstalk and other kinds of electrical interference will make conversations hard or impossible to understand. 4. Put the batteries under automatic switchboards out of commission by dropping nails, metal filings, or coins into the cells. If you treat half the batteries in this way, the switchboard will stop working. A whole telephone system can be disrupted if you can put 10% of the cells and half of the batteries of the central battery room out of order. B. Telegraph. Delay the transmission and delivery of telegrams to enemy destinations. 2. Delay the transmission and delivery of telegrams. 2. Garble telegrams to enemy destinations, so that another telegram will have to be sent, or a long-distance call will have to be made. Sometimes it will be possible to do this by changing a single letter in a word, for example, changing minimum to miximum, so that the person receiving the telegram will not know whether minimum or maximum is meant. Transportation lines. C. Transportation lines. 1. Cut telephone and telegraph transmission lines. Damage insulation on power lines to cause interference. D. Mail. Post office employees can see to it that enemy mail is always delayed by 1 day or more, that it is put in the wrong sacks, and so on. E. Motion pictures. Projector operators can run newsreels and other enemy propaganda films by bad focusing, speeding up or slowing down the film and causing frequent breakage in the film. 2. Audiences can ruin enemy propaganda films by applauding to drown out the words of the speaker, by coughing loudly, and by talking. 3. Anyone can break up a showing of an enemy propaganda film by putting 2 or 3 dozen large moths in a paper bag. Take the bag to the movies with you, put it on the floor in an empty section of the theater as you go in, and leave it open. The moths will fly out and climb into the projector beam so that the film will be obscured by fluttering shadows. F. Radio. 1. Station engineers will find it quite easy to overmodulate transmissions of talks by persons giving enemy propaganda or instructions so that they will sound as if they were talking through a heavy cotton blanket with a mouthful of marbles. 2. In your own apartment building, you can interfere with the radio reception at times when the enemy wants everybody to listen. Take an electric light plug off the end of an electric light cord, take some wire out of the cord and tie it across 2 terminals of a 2-prong plug or 3 terminals of a 4-prong plug. Then take it around and put it into as many wall and floor outlets as you can find. Each time you insert the plug into a new circuit, you will blow out a fuse and silence all radios running on power from that circuit until a new fuse is put in. 3. Damaging insulation on any electrical equipment tends to create radio interference in the immediate neighborhood, particularly on large generators, neon signs, fluorescent lighting, X-ray machines, and power lines. If workmen can damage insulation on a high-tension line near an enemy airfield, they will make ground-to-plane radio communications difficult and perhaps impossible during long periods of the day. 10. Electric power. A. Turbines, electric motors, transformers. 1. C. 5B, 2E, F, and G. B. Transmission lines. 1. Linesmen can loosen and dirty insulators to cause power leakage. It will be quite easy, too, for them to tie a piece of very heavy string several times back and forth between 2 parallel transmission lines, winding it several turns around the wire each time. Beforehand, the string should be heavily saturated with salt and then dried. When it rains, the string becomes a conductor and a short circuit will result. 11. General interference with organizations and productions. A. Organizations and conferences. 1. Insist on doing everything through, quote, channels. Never permit shortcuts to be taken in order to expedite decisions. 2. Make speeches. Talk as frequently as possible and at great length. Illustrate your points by long anecdotes and accounts of personal experiences. Never hesitate to make a few appropriate patriotic comments. 3. When possible, refer all matters to committees for, quote, further study and consideration. Attempt to make the committees as large as possible, never less than 5. 4. Bring up irrelevant issues as frequently as possible. 5. Haggle over precise wordings of communications, minutes, resolutions. 6. Refer back to matters decided upon at the last meeting and attempt to reopen the question of the advisability of that decision. 7. Advocate, quote, caution, be, quote, reasonable, and urge your fellow conferees to be, quote, reasonable, and avoid haste, which might result in embarrassments or difficulties later on. 8. Be worried about the propriety of any decision. Raise the question of whether such action as is contemplated lies within the jurisdiction of the group, or whether it might conflict with the policy of some higher echelon. B. Managers and supervisors. 1. Demand written orders. 2. Quote, misunderstand orders. Ask endless questions or engage in long correspondence about such orders. Quibble over them when you can. 3. Do everything possible to delay the delivery of orders. Even though parts of an order may be ready beforehand, don't deliver it until it is completely ready. 4. Don't order new working materials until your current stocks have been virtually exhausted, so that the slightest delay in filling your order will mean a shutdown. 5. Order high-quality materials which are hard to get. If you don't get them, argue about it. Warn that inferior materials will mean inferior work. 6. In making work assignments, always sign out the unimportant jobs first. See that the important jobs are assigned to inefficient workers of poor machines. 7. Insist on perfect work in relatively unimportant products. Send back for refinishing those which have the least flaw. Approve other defective parts whose flaws are not visible to the naked eye. 8. Make mistakes in routing, so that parts and materials will be sent to the wrong place in the plant. 9. When training new workers, give incomplete or misleading instructions. 10. To lower morale, and with it production, be pleasant to inefficient workers. Give them undeserved promotions. Discriminate against efficient workers. Complain unjustly about their work. 11. Hold conferences when there is more critical work to be done. 12. Multiply paperwork in plausible ways. Start duplicate files. 13. Multiply the procedures and clearances involved in issuing instructions, paychecks, and so on. See that people have to approve everything where... see that 3 people have to approve everything where 1 would do. 14. Apply all regulations to the last letter. C. Office workers. 1. Make mistakes in quantities of material when you are copying orders. Confuse similar names, use wrong addresses. 2. Prolong correspondence with government bureaus. 3. Misfile essential documents. 4. In making carbon copies, make 1 too few so that an extra copying job will have to be done. 5. Tell important callers the boss is busy or talking on another telephone. 6. Hold up mail until the next collection. 7. Spread disturbing rumors that sound like inside dope. D. Employees. 1. Work slowly. Think out ways to increase the number of movements necessary on your job. Use a light hammer instead of a heavy one. Try to make a small wrench do when a big one is necessary. Use a little force where considerable force is needed. And so on. 2. Contrive as many interruptions to your work as you can. When changing the material on which you are working, as you would a lathe or a punch, take needless time to do it. If you are cutting, shaping, or doing other measured work, measure the dimensions twice as often as you need to. When you go to the lavatory, spend a longer time there than is necessary. Forget tools so that you will have to go back after them. 3. Even if you understand the language, pretend not to understand instructions in a foreign tongue. 4. Pretend that instructions are hard to understand and ask to have them repeated more than once, or pretend that you are particularly anxious to do your work and pester the foreman with unnecessary questions. 5. Do your work poorly and blame it on bad tools, machinery, or equipment. Complain that these things are preventing you from doing your job right. 6. Never pass on your skill and experience to a new or less skillful worker. 7. Snarl up administration in every possible way. Fill out forms illegibly so that they will have to be done over. Make mistakes or omit requested information in forms. 8. If possible, join or help organize a group for presenting employee problems to the management. See that procedures are adopted are as inconvenient as possible for the management, involving the presence of a large number of employees at each presentation, entailing more than one meeting for each grievance, bringing up problems which are largely imaginary, and so on. 9. Misroute materials. 10. Mix good parts with unusable scrap and rejected parts. 12. General devices for lowering morale and creating confusion. A. Give lengthy and incomprehensible explanations when questioned. B. Report imaginary spies or danger to the Gestapo or police. C. Act stupid. D. Be as irritable and quarrelsome as possible without getting yourself into trouble. E. Misunderstand all sorts of regulations concerning such matters as rationing, transportation, traffic regulations. F. Complain against ersatz materials. G. In public, treat Axis nationals or Quieslings coldly. H. Stop all conversation when Axis nationals or Quieslings enter a cafe. I. Cry and sob hysterically at every occasion, especially when confronted by government clerks. J. Boycott all movies, entertainments, concerts, and newspapers which are in any way connected with Quisling authorities. K. Do not cooperate in salvage schemes. End of the Project Gutenberg Simple Sabotage ebook Simple Sabotage Field Manual. Alright. That was interesting. I knew that it was going to be a little bit dated, because this was, the last 2 years of World War II. But it's interesting. A great deal of it is very applicable to today, and a great deal of it is entirely useless just because the technology has changed so much. Pardon me, I'm just marking the end of that so I can clip the whole thing and throw it up on YouTube. Yeah, so some of the terminology is a little dated. A lot of it is honestly pretty relevant. So like everything introduction, possible effects, motivating the saboteur, are all basically still relevant to this day. Tools, targets, and timings are a little bit are remain broadly relevant, but definitely are a little bit not as relevant. Specific suggestions for simple sabotage. So a lot of stuff like a fire's a fire. Now a lot of buildings in modernity are not, near as oh god. Okay, so they used inflammable a whole lot in there. And for those who don't know, inflammable means flammable. Why? I don't fucking know. But I no idea. Um but anyway, sorry. Yes. Anytime I said inflammable in there, know that I was screaming mentally because I'm like, just say flammable. But fire's a fire. But a lot of them, like, okay, the different kind of plugs and the radio transmissions, anything to do with, intercepting telegrams, like, okay, granted, not particularly relevant. But it's honestly when you get to, like, are there people that the tooling stuff would be relevant for? Sure. But broadly speaking, I mean, particularly in the US today, a lot of what you're looking at is going to be things beyond 11 under number 5. So general interference with organizations and production. A whole lot of that is entirely feasible in modernity. And some of it is like, it is very specific to the time, obviously, but a lot of it is very, very easy to continue doing. I am amused. Spread disturbing rumors that sound like, quote, inside dope. Like, Jesus, yeah, okay, it was the 40s, fair enough. That is probably as much time as I want to spend on that unless somebody is in the chat and has suggestions. But I will try and have that clip uploaded in the next few days, of just the whole thing. Oh, and hell, I forgot to change up my title, so that's on me. It's fine. It's going on YouTube. I recorded it all. At this point, I'm going to drink some water just because I've been yapping. But I will go ahead and start up Skyrim shortly here. Pardon me. I know I've been complaining about it on the last few streams, but the tree pollen is still bothering me. I will try and cut out some of the stuff in there. And I may edit the video so that it's a different background. Alright, good timing. The mic disconnected again. That I'll also try and cut out of the video. The mic disconnects. Alright. Mic reconnected. Steam opened. Skyrim opened. And let me, just a moment, just double check something. I think, oh, let me make sure I'm in the right fucking category. That would be cool. Okay. And yes, no, I'm not. Okay, let me shift that and... Alright. Pardon me. Okay, yes, I am now in the correct category. Excellent. Skyrim Play. OBS. And then we are going to switch over to second screen, and it's going to actually capture Skyrim, right? Right, we're going to be cool about this. Please. Oh my god. Why? Why is this a problem? Okay. Not sure why that was giving me trouble, but that should be fixed for now. Oh, actually, I do know why that was giving me trouble. Never mind. If I had clicked into it, it would have worked fine. Alright. We are up to level 31 in our mage playthrough. To be perfectly honest, I don't recall exactly what I was doing. I just ran through a fort full of necromancers. But I will need to, double check what my current quests are, because I don't remember. Let's see. Augur of Dunlane seems like a good one to do. Just continue on in the Mages Guild quest line, and... see where that leads us. Okay. I assume I have, yes, Chain Lightning and Summon Frost Atronach on hand. Hopefully we can continue leveling both Conjuration and Destruction magic. Alright. The Midden. And I don't remember exactly what's down here, so we're gonna sneak. I didn't mean to pick up the skull. Strong start. That falls well outside of our valuation numbers. I feel like there's stuff down here. Yeah, I knew there was something. Though it does not appear to be able to get over here, and my thing doesn't appear to be able to get to it, so we'll call it not a problem for now. Works for me. Why are there 2 feet in there? The hook. That seems like an odd thing to hold on to. It seems even more odd that all of the bones are, you know, staying together despite the lack of ligaments and tendons. Alright. What do we have? Clearly there was something hostile out here. Ah, there we are. Really? That seemed like not the most efficient way you could have done that, but sure. Hit him in the face. Nice. Alright. Leading crown, sure. Okay, we got flammable oil there, or inflammable oil, as we just learned in the fucking OSS field manual. I genuinely hate that inflammable and flammable mean the same thing. It goes against the general guidelines of English and is also a needless pain in the ass. No, Ice Wraith, you can stay down there. I will continue accidentally shouting because I am playing on PC and that's just where we're at. But what are we doing? Just punch it. There we go. That should net me some Ice Wraith teeth, I think. Nice. I think that's the first Ice Wraith I've come across in this playthrough. Salt pile, nice. Looks like a torch bug, nice. Alright, and on down the stairs we go. Atronach Forge Manual. Ooh, fire salts. Okay, that's enough fire salts that I can now go to Riften. Yes, I could make an Atronach, but I don't actually care. I could now go to Riften and give the guy the 10 fire salts for his forge, which means I can then just start using fire salts. Because I want to do that, but it takes 10 for that guy, and I didn't want to have to deal with that later. So if I can just walk up to him and be like, hey, what's your problem? Here's the solution to your problem. I figured that would be better. Leather strips I'll take. Alright. Alright. Down to Goblin Town, etc. Friendly sort of place. I feel like there were enemies down here, yeah? Oh, you an Ice Wraith? Okay, got one. Come on. You gotta fight for your right to party or something. I'm gonna let it figure that shit out. Okay. Ooh, chest. Okay, yeah, I guess I am going down there.
There is no help for you here.
I mean, we'll see. Okay, yes, so I am going to go down, and then potentially loop back around if I need to. Gold, lockpick. Yeah, okay. This was worth it. And on down we go. Is there any ore over here? I'm just gonna let them talk it out. They don't seem to be talking particularly quickly. That'll do. Okay, we got 2 directions to go. I'm gonna check this one out first. As I said, it's been years since I played this game. I don't remember which is the correct one. Obviously, if I knew which one was the correct one, I would go the opposite, search them both, and then go the correct way. Wheat is excellent, though I need giant's toes, which is problematic. Because wheat, giant's toe, and something is like the best potion in the game, as we determined last time around. But obviously collecting giant's toes requires the killing of giants most of the time, which I am not currently kitted out to do. Can I do this with a spell? Yeah, I can. Seems really wasteful of magicka, but, you know. Come on. Alright, good enough. Up and around, I assume. Hanging moss, nice. Yeah, looks like the other way was the back path, but honestly, I'm just gonna continue on. Wheat. Garlic? Garlic, nice. I remember this being bad, right? Where's the skeleton? I hear it. Okay. It seems bad. Obviously, it's a Daedric thing. I don't remember what kind of Daedric thing. Guess skeletons in there. There we go. Goat hide, kettle, fire salt's nice. Ice wraith teeth, nice. Creep cluster. Creep cluster, excellent. I'm always fascinated by these candles that seem to be... I mean, I get in D&D Ever-Burning Flame's like a 2nd level spell just to explain that shit, but still. Or Continuous Flame, rather. Index finger. I think I need a ring or something to put on it. I don't remember. I'm just gonna go this way, and my Atronach's gonna move. Thank you. Alright. Nothing special. The bone pit. Not the fun kind, unfortunately. Alchemy? Yes, excellent. That's actually a thing I wanted, so that I could invest a skill point into further alchemical stuff. Excellent. Alright. That is a big step forward until we hit level 60. Because potions in this game are generally the way that I just make money. It's more efficient, certainly by weight, than just about anything else. Okay. That was where I killed the ice raid, then it's forward this way, so yeah, I did miss a
There is no
direction
solace
down
in
below,
knowing what
but
is to come.
I'm not that worried about it. Could there be something there? Probably. Is there something there? Maybe.
Only leads to
Huh.
disappointments.
Then again.
Still, you persist.
Oh,
Very well. You may enter.
thanks, man. That's cool of you. Appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Augur of Dunlane? My apologies to the eyes of anybody viewing this.
That which you have been seeking.
That's cool.
Your efforts are in vain. It has already begun.
Yeah, the Sigil Order was pretty direct about that.
Those who have sent you have not told you what they seek. What you seek.
I apologize. I am somehow back in the writing and reading category? I need to alt-tab out for... okay, whatever. I was told to find you.
And so you have come looking, though you do not know why.
Sure I do.
Like
It was the
others
quest marker,
before
man.
You blindly follow a path to your own destruction.
Hardly unique.
The Thalmor came seeking answers as well, unaware they will be his undoing. Your path now follows his, though you will arrive too late. The one who calls himself
Yeah, no shit.
Ancano. He seeks information about the Eye, but what he will find shall be quite different. His path will cross yours in time, but first you must find that which you need. You and those aiding you wish to know more about the Eye of Magnus. You wish to avoid the disaster of which you are not yet aware.
I mean, yeah. Avoiding disaster is fairly ideal, generally speaking.
Magnus's eye without being blinded. You
Oh, right,
require
Staff of Magnus,
his
it's the whole
staff.
thing.
Events now spiral quickly.
I will say,
towards
do not
the
appreciate
inevitable
in this
center.
game that generally is pretty free about you doing whatever, that I can't skip through this dialogue.
Your Archmage.
Cool, thanks. Just a moment while I alt-tab out. And try and go back into the Skyrim category. Okay, no, it's showing me as in the Skyrim category, but now on OBS it's not. Okay, now it's theoretically showing me as in there. I had no idea. Let's hop back in. Alright, I think we're good. Thank you, talking well. Alright, back up and out. Do I get to kill Ancano yet? I feel like we're approaching that point. I would like to kill Ancano. Could go down there. Yeah, whatever, why not? See what actually, yeah, that's ideal. So I wasn't missing anything, I just don't have to go back up that way. That's cool. Pardon me. What is that? Just a rock? It's not a boulder, Patrick. It's a rock. Alright. Sorry, my high range is not great vocally. You want me to go down low, I can do that, but, not so much with the higher end. Swing low. Alright. Right. Given that I am highly likely to accidentally kill myself trying this, we're gonna save real quick. Cool. Now when I do kill myself trying this, we don't waste a bunch of time. Yeah, there's really no direction that looks safe here. That's fine. Probably. Question mark. Weirdly, not as perilous as I was imagining. Alright. Sorry, I'm not an Argonian, I can't breathe underwater. Oh, was this place populated by bandits? Yeah, it was. God, I really am just a scavenger. Which, I mean, is pretty much any RPG protagonist, honestly, but... Sure. We got someone over there? Yeah. Bandit sheep. Ooh, and the nice Nordic armor, too. Oh, time to go, time to go, time to go. Oh, fuck me. I hit caps lock, and it almost killed me. For those who are not familiar with PC controls, caps lock makes your movement walking speed instead of running speed. We're gonna down a bunch of potions and minor healing too, and then run away. Hey, maybe focus on the big motherfucker behind you, kindly. Please? Thank you. That'll do. Nordic sword, definitely worth its weight. Elven dagger, same deal. Carved armor by a long shot. And the boots, phenomenal. Alright. Anything interesting in here? There's a chest. We take those. Anything interesting in the journal? That feels like a thing that kicks off a quest. Maybe. Unless it doesn't. Oh, for fuck's sake, just a moment. My OBS got covered up by Windows trying to show me things. It's more than a little unhelpful when I'm trying to use OBS and can't easily click out of the other screen. Okay, we got, looks like a standing stone out here. I don't know what it is. Probably not going to swap it out for the mage stone, but I at least like that I have the option and can pick up the fast travel point. And because I'm not in survival mode, the cold water doesn't kill me. Which was always something I thought about before they added the survival mode. I'm like, theoretically this should be terrible for me. And then they added survival mode and I haven't played it, so, you know. I guess they responded to my complaint and I just didn't care enough to actually respond to their response. Feel a little guilty about that, actually. Okay. Jesus. Alright. And on up the slope. Serpent stone. I don't remember what that does. Feels like something that would be related to poison, but like... Excellent. What do we got? Serpent stone. Once a day, those under the sign of the serpent can use a ranged paralyzing poison on opponents. Okay, I mean, that's cool. I'll stick with the 20% faster XP for all things magic, thank you, but, that is neat, I suppose. Feels more thematic with an Argonian. My wood elf spitting poison just seems weird. Should probably travel back to the college and tell them what I learned. Seems potentially relevant to their interests. Hey, Savos. Suh, dude.
What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Really? And what? I'm sorry, what?
We need to find the Staff of Magnus. I thought I was clear.
I'd certainly love to have such a... And how do you know of this? Did you... And he
Yep.
specifically...
Yep.
I'm impressed with your initiative. Of course, I'm most impressed. Something as specific as... I seem to recall Mirabelle... I'm
Cool,
quite
I will
pleased
try and
with your
find her.
progress, you know. This circlet once proved invaluable.
Cool, thanks.
I hope it will be of use to you.
Hey, what's the fit on those robes for no reason in particular?
Helpful in locating the staff.
Let's see. Mage's circlet. Fuck yes. That is significantly better than the 30 points I was getting out of my novice hood. Hey, yo, Mirabelle.
Please don't bother.
Sup?
Well, now that's an odd question. Why in the world would you be asking? I can appreciate this, but let's not jump to any conclusions or assign it importance beyond what we're certain of. Just whatever is.
Hey man, you're the one who told me where it was.
Be very careful. Well, it's said to be very powerful, but it's more myth than anything at this point. The only time I've heard it mentioned was when those Synod characters showed up some months ago looking for mages based out of Cyrodiil.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that being a thing in Oblivion, sort of.
My understanding is that all they really do is make... I was quite surprised to find them on our doorstep. They seemed... It became clear they're trying to hoard powerful artifacts, looking to
Shocking.
consolidate
That never
power.
happens.
No one here? The Synod seemed convinced it was somewhere in Skyrim. They inquired about the ruin. It sounded like they were
Ooh,
heading
now I get to
there. They
go
were
check
rather
out Dwarven Ruins.
secretive
Does
about
this lead me to
why.
Blackreach? It might.
I suppose if you're intent on looking for the staff, there's a chance they might be in Mazulft yet. Just don't expect them to be cooperative.
Noted. Unrelated, what's my gold at? Okay, I could theoretically afford some training.
I need your help with something private. College is a bit of an... Yes, I may have entered into an agreement. It was a mistake, and now I want back what I gave. But he won't deal with me. Talk to him. See what it'll take to get my amulet back. Until next time.
Another day, another disconnect. Alright. Fucking microphone. I am very frustrated because it was a very expensive mic and it works great, but what now? Oh, okay. Dragon. Cool. Cool. Yeah, it is way too relaxed with me pumping lightning into it. Where's my, there we are. Okay, that works. I guess if I'm picking all this stuff up, I can swing by home before depositing it. Okay. Hey, tall deer. Alright. Where's my house at? Okay. Let's drop some stuff off. Actually, have my crops grown, because that would also be... Nope. Okay, cool. I'd primarily like to sell stuff off. I just need to toss all my dragon bones and scales into my smithing location here. Cool. Back up and out the hatch. Alright, and let's hit Whiterun, sell off the armor, just because that is the thing that I really don't want to go into Mazult with. Really? We're having this glitch again? I mean, we had it
Got some good
very early in the playthrough, but hadn't been a problem for a while.
Pretty much anything to suit your needs.
Elven dagger, iron arrows, Nordic sword, dwarven shield for armor hide boots, Nordic carved armor, Nordic carved boots, Nordic carved helmet, both of my novice hoods, ropes restoration, potions, I don't really need those, don't need those either, don't need that. I think everything else is potentially useful. I don't have... Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I think go back to the college and train with Feralda just to up destruction, because, I mean, it's coming along, but I might as well get it higher quicker. And I don't think that it's at a point where that's gonna be inconceivably expensive. though it might be, honestly.
I'm working on some very important research, I assure you.
And if I can only afford a couple of those, I can probably go to what's-her-name that's super into restoration.
Mirabelle does a fine job as
Hey,
Master Wizard, I
I
suppose.
would like to give you
I can
money,
teach
please.
but I won't be held
Thank you.
responsible for what you do with the knowledge.
Okay, so got 4 out of that. And I just know that my restoration's low enough that it should be cheap enough to train in. And is still useful. Okay, pretty sure she sleeps on this level. Oh. Is that Mirabelle?
You know, they say knowledge is...
Or is it
just-
Colette?
Restoration of
Yes,
that
I do. Of course it's
Good.
valid. In point of
Look that
fact,
I
I'd like you to pay me to...
It can make life
I'd like to
difficult
pay you
in
to
one's heart. I'd
tell me more
gladly
about
share
it.
my knowledge with you.
Thank you. That's great of you. Cool. And with the boost I got in Magicka, I think we'll go health again. Because it really saved our ass against the bandit chief there. Okay. God, it is warm in this room. I may need to get up and turn the AC on. And where is the current quest? Mzulft. Ah, nice. And I did pick up those ruins on a previous pass-through, which is ideal. And let's head on inside. Let's see, what's our current load going in? 90? Yeah, it should be fine. I can get this character down to like 70-ish, but not that worried about it.
Gone.
Oh, hey. You don't look so hot.
Find Paratus in oculory.
Noted. Oh, actually, hang on. Key, do I need the key? Requires key. Okay, that's what I was worried about. Just figured I'd get the XP for opening it if I could. I assume that's just to prevent you from going to a quest-related area before you're supposed to. And yet I would still like the XP. That, as I recall, triggers a spinning blade. Okay. Come on. Finish the fight. Come on. Dwarven oil, ebony ore, very nice. And as I recall, you can melt a bunch of this shit down into corundum, which is used for dwarven gear, I think. But seeing as I am not doing a heavy armor playthrough, that shouldn't be relevant. Armor converter. I remember that being a thing. Maybe something to do with soul gems, but I don't recall specifically. Nice. It just saw me. Okay. Trap there. Oh, come on. There we go. Believe that that's the way forward, but I'd like to check around here first. Then again, maybe that's the side passage? I have no idea. Because it was trapped, I'm gonna assume that the more valuable stuff is this way, maybe? Not always the way it works, but... Nice. Okay. Oh, Grundamore. No, Moonstone ore. It's actually more valuable for me, but not... Ooh, Flawless Sapphire. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Smithing improvements. Good. Okay, so the trapdoor was the way to check out first. Yeah, if it's going to be 2 more hours, I think I need to step out and adjust the temperature soon. I'm, like, okay at the moment, but it is going to get rapidly uncomfortable. Alright. Another Dwarven shield. Cool. We take those. More Moonstone. Excellent. And an Amethyst. Nice. Oh, fucking Chorus Hunters? Question mark? Yeah, Hunters. Not my favorite enemy in the game. But at least it ain't me he's poisoning for the moment. Come on. Oh, you're a fucking asshole. Really? Not after the one behind you. Oh, never mind. The AC just finally turned on. Okay. Good job squishing the bug. Course Hunter Antenna. I remember those being quasi-valuable for potions. Not like incredible, but like decent. Gold, potion minor healing. Silver and moonstone circlet. Okay. It's interesting how spaced out the cyanide researchers died. Like, you'd think they'd have broadly been together. Maybe the pacing was for dramatic effect. Okay, well, they died close-ish. Scroll. Apothecary satchel. Nice. Alright. Falmer. Almost missed that. Alright. What all else do we have? Okay, I see the tripwire. Yeah, okay. Figured. Wasn't sure what else that could be. Damn, was hoping for more, moonstone. Hey, more chorus. Exciting. Alright, so now Conjuration and Destruction are of the same level. Shit. No. You stay over there. Oh boy. I don't know that I have the magic to keep that up. Hey, buddy. Maybe hit them? Come on. That'll do. Could really use those Dremora Lords. Okay. Have we dropped enough hints that it's the Falmer yet? I guess none of the cyanide researchers were shot full of arrows, but... Dwarven bolts. First hint of crossbows thus far. Really? There we go. Bolt oil soldier. Let's see. Locked gate. Locked gate. Unlocked gate. Dwarven oh no, so it's not Garundum, it's Dwarven Metal. That's right. I forgot those were two different things. Which is fine. Either way, not using it. On up the ramp here. Punch him lots. There we go. Strong work. Bolt. Dynamo. I feel like I need one of those for something. And I do not remember what. Like, I feel like that comes up later in the game, where you need one of those, or maybe 4 of them. Alright. Good work. Common soul gem. Lesser soul gem. Alright. I think down is the way forward. But it might not be. That feels like the way forward. Did not need to grab that. And the problem is all that shit's needlessly heavy. Like, great if you want to build a set of dwarven armor, but otherwise very heavy and unpleasant to lug around. Okay, I said the air came on, and then it stopped, like, immediately. Oh, come on. Just a hair. I went too far in the opposite direction. Come on. Come on. There we go. I think that's the 3rd dwarven shield I'm carrying. Orcish helmet of Major Magica. Dwarven bulb, stamina. That is good enough. All up this way. Alright. Oh, this is a set of traps. That's right, that's right, that's right. Safe. You probably aren't. Yeah. Kinda what I figured. Excellent. On we trot. got? Nice. Okay, what else have we got? I think that's everything in this room. So, on to the Falmer, eventually. Like 99% sure the Falmer show up here, yeah, see? Falmer. Good timing. Way to make my point, dead Falmer. Okay, what have we here? More dead Falmer, more dead Dwarven... Oh, damn. Didn't mean to pick up the sword. Because that is pretty garbage by our weight to value standard. Come on. There we go. Anybody ever thought about the logistics of one of these chests? Like, you got one little hole in the top, and then everything better be able to be pulled out from there? As opposed to like a square chest with a fully open top, so you could remove anything that fits within the chest. The design just strikes me as inefficient. Certainly unergonomic. Why are you coming towards me? It's just giving him better opportunities to spot me. Finish him! Finish him! There we go. My laptop is kind of cooking my fingers here. Yeah, none of that's worth anything. Dwarven metal ingots. Nothing in particular over here. What do we got? Come on, take him out. Kill him. Smash him, crush him. Poke him with your long, pokey arm. Or that. I can do that. Alright. I don't fancy his chances against two of them. But we're gonna keep trying. It actually looks like they were standard Falmer rather than particularly powerful ones, so that went better than I was anticipating. Yeah, standard Falmer. And a Skulker, okay. So that went decent. Ooh, pardon me. Gate Master. I'm gonna break a bunch of picks trying this shit. Okay, nothing on the right. Oh, that was cruel. Cruel. Ah. Okay, I think I overdid that one. Trying to release quickly enough that it doesn't just break, but not doing well. Ah, why? Too much, I think. There we go. There's a decent chunk of stuff here. I think there's a chest there. Okay. Nope, there's a stone bench there. That seems like not a lot to hide behind a master lock, but sure. I mean, honestly, I'll just take the lockpicking level. Magic of Poison. Dwarven Dagger is technically within my weight to value calculation. Free open gate. I got more chorus. In a shock tube, no one. Alright. Let me stretch a moment. Oh shit, that's apparently a Ghost Reaper. Not clear why poison works on Frost Atronachs, but whatever. Now that you're going back towards me, huh? Chill the fuck out. That seems better for me. Cool, thanks. Finish him. Yeah. Moonstone ore vein, excellent. Decent chest. Alright. Jesus. Seems like a lot of things to be fighting. I'm not sure how long that's gonna last, though. I would think he's relatively resistant to frost. They are snow elves after all. No, 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 no. Like him, not me. Nice. Okay. There appears to still be combat going on, which is interesting. Because I don't see a marker for an enemy. Yeah, the combat music is still distinctly continuing. But I don't appear to be detected by anything. Thrush egg. Fine thrush egg. Let me out of the tent, thank you. Good. Appreciate it. And on we go. Off we go into the wild blue yonder or something. Easy, easy. Yeah, no healing for you. It's worth selling anyway. More mushrooms. Sign out researcher. Again, no arrows. Actually, it's, the boots are just barely within what I pick up. technically... The weight 21 I can't get over, though. That's... Alright. Anything else? Are there any other mushrooms? Doesn't appear to be. Finish him! Finish him! More chorus eggs, which are good for something. Like there's one recipe I remember that's like pretty solid with chorus eggs. So as many of those as I can get, I will take. Let you two hang out. Skulker probably survives, unless he doesn't. Apparently not. Charred skeever hide. Got all manner of ore on me. Or what, etc. Master quality door again. Okay. Going right or left? Left, evidently. Oh, cruelty, cruelty. Alright. Gold ring, covered ruby circlet. Skellington. Ooh, alteration. Nuts. Around to getting telekinesis spell, because that's one of the fastest ways to level alteration, and I don't have it. And I've already got illusion maxed out because of muffle. Okay. Expert door. Loving the lockpicking XP, though I'm a little concerned about my number of lockpicks. Come on. Come on. Little down. Okay, further down. Let's go all the way down. Okay, I'm scrolling down, and for some reason, my mouse is not cooperating. Little up, or are we just all... See, I'm scrolling up, and it's going down. Not a fan of this. Sorry, I was complaining that scrolling my mouse down on the side there seemed to be just taking it up. And I'm not clear on why. Come on. No, 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 no. Very impolite to poison me and not just fight my Atronach. Okay. That's a little easier at least. Helmet. Yeah, it's within my... Okay. What else have we got? I feel very warm today. I was seeing that it's supposed to like rain tomorrow in my area, so I don't even know if it's supposed to be like hot. I think it's just that I'm in an enclosed room. Nice. Nice. Come on. What are we doing? Sure, I guess. Yeah, that was pretty much what I was anticipating. Okay, free chest, dig it. Glass bow freezing. I have that, which means I can just sell the bow. Okay. That appears to be the way forward, so let me check the other end here. One meal, creep cluster. Nice. You can do this. Jesus. Yeah, okay, missed that. That's on me. No, 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 no. Would you kindly fuck off? Please? 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 Ow. Come on. Focus on the Atronach, he's the one hurting you. Ouch. Alright. Could have gone worse. Wants me to save. Okay. That could have gone worse, but not significant. Oh, wait, chest. Ooh. Yeah, that's worth it. Okay. Now we get to it. What all am I carrying that is barely worth its weight? That... Dwarven helmet's not great. Dwarven shield is okay. Dwarven shields I can lose all three apparently. That should be fine. Is this the part that leads into Black Reach? I feel like it might be. Oh, the boots are probably pretty high on that list. Zulft Aerodome. I admit I don't remember this. Of course. That's one. Dude. Okay. That's kind of a clusterfuck, if I'm honest. Okay, he's not gonna last long, but I do have Chain Lightning. How about you go fight someone else? Because I'm kind of low on magicka. No. No. I can focus over there. Would you fucking relax? Oh, asshole. Okay. Not sure why you had void salts, but I dig it. Focusing crystal, I'm assuming is a quest item. That feels quest relevant. Okay. I guess I should look around first. Yeah, see, I'm gonna miss all the eggs. That's why you gotta loot every corner. Master lock door, 12. Lockpicks left. I don't see us getting this, but I'm happy to try it. Son of a bitch. Oh! How dare you? I can manufacture these, can't I? Ah! Okay. The Master Locks alone have done great things for my smithing in this dungeon, but... Ow! Let's lose those boots. L, idiot. They're under L. There we go. Just glanced past them because I had a pair equipped. Okay. Now we can continue on. Huh. Then again, if it's that way? Okay. Down into the amphitheater. Lots and lots of dwarven metal. Four ears. The worst part about carrying all these ears around is I don't think they're actually all that useful. Oh, hey. Oh, why is it a master? Why is it a Dwarven Centurion master? That's a whole other thing. Wow, he took so much damage. Jesus. We're fine. Everything is fine. Okay, he at least doesn't appear to be healing, like, at all. So, I'm hopeful that I can just leave him in there and slowly whittle him down. No, don't come back out here. That would be a whole mess for me. How about I let my sneak reset? Nope, nope, nope. How about we very slowly stop noticing that I exist, huh? I appreciate your cooperation in this matter. Okay, that was not great. Come on. Come on. Hit him. Smash him. Hit him. Why are we just standing there? And we win. We got there eventually. Glassware, amethyst, oil, flawless amethyst. In my head, I need 4 of these at some point. I could be absolutely talking out of my ass, and I don't remember, but just in case I'm correct, I'm taking some. Prefer not to lose the glass sword. That's actually pretty decent value. But probably not as good value as most of this stuff. Yeah, I guess I lose the sword. Gives me a little room to play with anyway. I remember on the way in here when I said, like, oh yeah, 90 weight should be fine. I would like to rethink my sentiment on that. Scroll level take. Arrows I will also take because they weigh nothing. The greatest improvements from Oblivion to Skyrim. Just arrows are weightless. Now granted, that did make the already busted Stealth Archer build even more busted, but it's a single player game, so whatever. That should be everything, I believe. Okay, I don't know what my sister and her girlfriend made, but I think it's greasy and made out of potato, and it smells fucking amazing through the door. Yeah, not sure, but it's definitely making me hungry. Because I've really only snacked a bit today. I'll probably have like an actual dinner after stream. Which is like in an hour, give or take. A little bit longer. I'll be alright. Could do with some more water though. Haven't had nearly enough hydration today. Alright.
Gavros, is that you?
Yes.
Let me get the door.
Hey, bad news.
What the? What are you doing here? What have you done with Gavro? It was the Falmer, wasn't it? Curse them. They
Yeah,
ruined
dude.
everything. If Gavros is gone, there is no hope. And you, if you're here for treasure or wisdom or anything, it didn't work the first time. I tried to tell Gavros, but he wouldn't. Well, I was right, wasn't I? Focused completely wrong by the Gavros had to cart it all the way back to Cyrodiil. Left the rest of us here to fend off the damnable Falmer. You found... That's it? That's it!
Because I
don't know who you are, but
looted everything I came
Save this
through.
little In fact, who are you? You... Sabos wouldn't even grant us an audience when we came to... I don't much like this, I'll tell you. But you... Come on. I'll explain on the way.
Yeah,
No
sure,
matter
man.
what Gavros said, this was my idea first. The council is going
don't
to
care.
know that when I get back. I was the one who thought of using this oculory. I don't know what the dwarves called it. Something unpronounceable, I'm sure. From all our research, it seems they were intent on discerning the nature of the divine. This machinery, all of it, was designed to collect starlight, and then, I'm not sure, split it somehow? It was my idea to replace one of the key elements with our focusing crystal. Months of enchantments went into it. Let's just hope they got it right this time.
Come on. This isn't the one that contains the other scroll, but also fairly similar. Come on, man. You're killing me.
Here it is. Magnificent, isn't it? Took an incredible
Phenomenal.
work to get it
Put the
right
fucking
again.
focusing
Now I'm hoping it'll all be
crystal
worth
in.
it. Place the crystal in the central of the lens.
Okay.
And start the process for focusing.
Oh, I have to do it. Yeah, sure. Naturally. I did the thing.
Yes?
Shut up. All your friends are dead, and all you care about is getting credit for this fucking project. Okay. Okay, let's equip Flame's left hand, Frostbite right hand. That looks correct. Cool. Come on.
Finally going to pay off. What's this?
Yes, I'm
These
awesome.
results.
Thank you for
They're not at
noticing.
all what they should be. This projection should be lit up like the night sky. Something is creating an incredible amount of interference. Something in Winterhold, it looks like. What are you playing at? Is this some attempt to stall my work?
1, I don't care nearly enough about your work for that.
So
2,
what is it?
nope.
Did you know what we were attempting? Are you here to make... Well, explain yourself. You and your college have ruined years. How did you do it? Either you're lying... You have something at your college, don't you? Something immensely powerful. Beyond anything I've anticipated. What is it?
We might have something,
Well,
yes.
This I had... If that's taken into account, these results make more sense. Yes, the staff. Interesting. I can't explain the details. That would be giving away many secrets the Synod have learned over the years. Also, I doubt you'd be able to comprehend the details. Have you seen the orrery in the Imperial City? It was the inspiration for this idea. Instead of
Actually,
projecting
yes.
the sky, we project all of Tamriel, and then harness the latent energies to overlay the positions of... What's important is that all of this work was designed to reveal to us sources of great magical power. Purely to help safeguard the Empire, of course. And yet, in the end, only 2 locations have been revealed to us. One is your college. The other, well, that can only be Labyrinthian.
Oh, right, Labyrinthian. Yep.
So, Mage from Winterhold, even if all you've said here is lie, so fine. Trudge off to Labyrinthian in search of your... This is not over, I assure you. Well, yes. Probably. I mean, yes. Certainly it is. But that doesn't matter now, because I know you're hoarding something even more important at your college. The Council will be informed of this. They will find out what you're up to.
Go nuts.
Am I? I think I've discovered more. Your trickery won't confuse me.
Okay.
I think
Been a
we're
pleasure
done
talking to
here.
you, probably. Oh, are we doing Sigil Order things again?
You have done well thus far, but
Oh,
trying
thanks.
times
Cool.
are ahead. It is imperative that you return to your college at once. You will be called on to take swift action, rise to the challenge, and discover what you are capable of. You are on the right path, and you will prevail.
You know, you probably don't need to do the time stop thing every time we talk, like if we're not around other people. It seems superfluous. Alright. No, I don't actually want to return to the college. I want to hit my house and try and disenchant some of the stuff I picked up and then sell the rest. Because life's going to be easier if I'm not over-encumbered the whole time. Pardon me. I also need to remember to drop off all of my alchemy stuff. Disenchant. Fire abatement. And sure grip. Excellent. Move on to drop off potion stuff. I should take the fire salts to Riften at some point, but that's kind of out of the way at the moment. Okay. And then, do I have anything? No, nothing I need to drop off. Oh, wait, actually, I have a bunch of, ore that I'm carrying on me that I'm not going to sell, so should drop that off. I can just drop the ore off, I don't need to actually convert it. Oh, and I'll drop the dynamo core in here too? Sure. I really feel like those are important, and I just can't verbalize why. Like, I'm pretty sure they're for a puzzle, but... Oh, that's right, I wanted to see if I could do, to manufacture lockpicks, because I would really like to have those on hand. Iron... Steel? Lockpicks? I swear to God, this is a thing in the game. I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to double check this. Oh, no, I left my phone in the other room, so I can't. You know, not the most important thing in the world. I will just continue on my way. I'm just very low on lockpicks. And do not yet have the perk that makes them completely unbreakable. And we will sell things off in Whiterun. In the morning. Got that same loading glitch. Which is interesting, because I had it early in the run, it went away, and now it's back. No idea what it's related to.
Got some good pieces out here.
That's
I don't
good.
claim to
Can
be...
we
Take a look.
sell? Cool. Misk, do I have fucking lockpicks there? No. It seems reasonable that not everyone would sell those. That's interesting. When I release, it goes, okay, it's fine. Glass War X, staff. Lots of mage robes. That, yeah, don't need. That I don't care. That's fine. Alright. Anything else? Okay. That should be everything I need at present. Should probably drop off. Should have dropped off
Don't forget to check inside the shop.
those soul gems, but not a big deal. As I recall, Savos dies or is dead soon here. Ancano, do I finally get to kill him? Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a war. Who's casting? Ancano? How?
I don't know what he's doing. Excellent. I'd suggest Ancano has somehow locked himself in the hall. Help us get through this, will you? Care what it is. I want it down now. I want to know what he's doing in there.
Find out what
Am I hitting them? Hey, asshole.
What's going on? Ancano, stop this at once. I command you.
Are you
They
all
forgot
right?
to include the flashbang sound
Can you
effect.
walk? I need you on your feet.
Embarrassing, really.
We're in trouble here. Ancano is doing something with that thing. I haven't seen Savo since the explosion. He must have been blown. I need you to find the Archmage, and I need you to do it quickly. I'll be fine. I just need a minute to catch my breath. Find Savos.
Right. I like the idea that he was blown through the doors and then the doors closed again.
What's happened? Are you all right? What happened in there? Why? Is he responsible? There's more.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Something's happened to Winterhold. It must be... Quickly now, quickly. I'll find Mirabelle and see if we can't put a stop to this.
Is he here?
He sure is, and I'm not allowed to search him, which I understand, but also, give me his shit. Oh, right. All the fucking ice wraiths get summoned into Winterhold. That's right. Yeah. And
What's
I should
going on? What
probably
happened?
actually
It
be
may be in danger? Let's get down there.
careful
We have to do something. Come on, Arnie. Let's
to not use chain lightning. Because every chance that I hit additional targets with that. Oh, that's right, these things. They're not ice wraiths exactly, they're anomalies. Okay, relax. can here. Oh good, we only need to beat 10 of them. Oh, that's right, they all drop soul gems. Appreciate that. Come on.
That looks like it's the last. We'll stay here. Get back to the college and let them know.
Right, back to Mirabelle right after I search all the remains. Ooh, that was a full Grand Soul gem. Nice. Another one. Awesome. And a black soul gem filled Grand Soul. I should also at some point go get a Zura's Star, but I'm also not really doing soul trap things at the moment. Not because I don't want to, just because I haven't gotten around to it. And the fact that I'm doing a weaponless run, or broadly weaponless run, means that I'm mostly not doing soul trap stuff, though honestly I could probably up my one-handed a bit and enchant like an axe. I quit counting, but that's yet another disconnect. For the microphone, didn't mean to do that. Come on. Alright. We're just hanging out on the ground now. Interesting. Not clear on how that hit me. Let's just... Come on. There we go. Don't you love when the obvious traitor in your midst launches an attack and then a wholly unrelated dragon attack distracts in the middle of them? Okay. Maribel alive? Oh, nice.
Well, is that... Wish I could say... Tolfdir and I can try and keep this contained. You need to get your hands on the Staff of Magnus. What? Are you... That can't be a coincidence. The Arch... He told me it was from Labyrinthian and that I think you should take this amulet. Take it and get out of here. Bring back that staff before Ancano brings the whole college down around us.
I don't remember what that does. Savos, Aren's amulet. Magic by 50 points. What is my current amulet? Increases magic by 30 points. So yes, in fact, that will just be a flat buff. Excellent. On we trot. Let's do something. I don't know. Let's get training before we level. Training and shit I don't care about because it'll be cheap. And relatively quick if I go to the Companions Feast Hall. I could have Ayla train me in archery, but that's literally useless. As the one thing that I said that I was not allowed to use this entire time was bows, but sure. This is exceedingly cheap, and I don't mind. And again, my match code went up. So we will rely on continuing to up our health pool. Do I want more two-handed? Is there anything else I can get?
You may actually be stronger than
I hope you've readied yourself.
Oh,
Until next time.
right.
I'm still trying to figure out why Skjor let you in.
Oh, block, sweet. Yeah.
It might save your life.
Not something I'm specifically using, but something that it wouldn't hurt to have higher generally. Okay. Do I want to start the Labyrinthian quest? That seems like a whole thing. This fucking guy. Okay. You know what I should do, while I'm thinking about it, is head to my house, go get the 10 fire salts that I've been saving up, and go and give them. And also drop off all of the filled soul gems that I have. And potentially gather... Yes, nice. Okay. There we go. Nice. Filled soul gems. We got a grand black soul gem, common soul gems. Should also drop off the dragon bones, because they're great, but god, they're heavy. Greater soul gems, lesser soul gems, and petty soul gems. And drop off the dragon bones and scales. And drop off the alchemy equipment and gather the 10 fire salts. Let's see, fire salts, there we are. I would like 10, please. And then I need to go to Riften, which I have not been to yet, so I should travel to just outside of Whiterun. And just pay for the carriage to take me to town. I might be able to up my speech on the way in, because I think they try and shake you down at the front, and you can, like, intimidate or persuade them or something.
I can take you to any of the hold. Where do you want to go?
Riften.
Climb and back, and we'll be off. Nice
That is
weather
a
for
great
ride.
20 gold, frankly.
You ever met one of them cats? Khajiit,
Okay. We're at the stables. And the town entrance is right here. Let's get shaken down real quick.
Before I let you into Riften, for the privilege of entering the city,
What does it matter? All right, calm down. No need for that. I'll let you in right away. Just need to get the gate unlocked.
Thanks.
Welcome to Riften. The gate's unlocked. You can head inside when you're ready.
I had another
Yeah,
run-in
Mule
with a few
Linus has a
I
quest.
don't know you. You and Riften looking for... Yeah?
Just
Well, I got
hasn't
news for you. Last thing the Blackbriars need is some stranger sticking the... The Blackbriars have ripped... Me? I'm Maul. I watch the streets for them. If you need dirt on it, only way you could have found one of... So what do you want to know?
I don't care.
Be seeing you around.
I'm really getting tired of your excuses. When you borrowed the money, you said you'd pay it back on time and for double the usual fee.
Okay. Please don't. I think Brynjolf is here and does a thing that I don't want to deal with at the moment. Mistfield Keep, just so I can travel this end of Riften should I need to. And then the blacksmith exists, I think. Where are we at? Let's jump at like 10 a.m.-ish. Pardon me, I need to lean back, stretch.
Never done an honest day's work.
You
carry. Come to see Balliman perform. Smithing's been in my
seem
blood.
quite
The
proud of
secret
your
is my
work.
forge. It consumes fire salt. Well, it was. Sadly, this forge is dying, and I've used the last of my fire salt. Shutting this place down would dishonor my family's heritage. But what other choice will I have? Smithing's been in my blood. The secret is my forge. Well, it was. Amazing. You've saved my business and warmed an old smith's heart. For that, I thank you. You wish to do what I do? Very well.
Okay. I can do more of that later.
Return anytime. You're quite welcome here.
Like a giant. Only a mere 20 gold coins, and all this could be yours.
I'm not... Okay. Don't feel like dealing with Brynjolf at the moment. What can I... yeah. Let's do a little bit of smithing work with whatever ore I had. Let's see, corundum ore, ebony ore, gold ore. The iron ore I'll save in case I need to turn it into gold ore. Malachite ore, moonstone ore. Okay. And if you're wondering why I was picking those up 2 at a time, it's that it takes 2 to make an ingot for everything but iron ore. So odd numbers don't help. Oh, that's right, this doesn't up smithing. So, that doesn't matter, but at least I've got the ingots on hand for when I need them. Probably make some ebony armor at some point. I usually will at least outfit my... Actually, I'll hang on to the gold ingot. I usually outfit a row of mannequins in like every kind of armor in the game. More because it amuses me than anything else. That can't possibly have been anything. That's right, random. Refined moonstone. I was looking for the word ingot. Cool. And the gold ingot I can theoretically turn into something nice. Let's see, 550, 45, 700. And I need diamond or flawless diamond for that, so not likely to happen. So the 700 is what we got. Excellent. And I should honestly probably just enchant a bunch of junk to up enchanting. But I'm sure there's a better way to do that. I don't remember off the top of my head. I will tell you, I mentioned earlier that I was, doing fine. I'd snacked a while back. I'd be just fine till the end of stream at about 9:30. I'm beginning to rethink those thoughts. We're about half an hour out, and my stomach is going, hey, you should fill me. And I'm like, yeah, I gotcha, but like, I'm doing a thing, so probably we can hold off on that. And my stomach's like, yeah, counterpoint. Hungry. So I may back out a little early. I'll try not to. I'm fine, frankly. I've got enough fat stores on me. I should be okay. I ain't liable to starve, you know? What is it, 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food? Actually, water is a good point. I said earlier that I had not had enough, and then I didn't drink any more, so I am going to pause for a moment to do that. I apologize if you can hear background noise there. That's my sister and her girlfriend through a relatively thin door. This stream setup has lots of very nice things. Soundproofing really is not among them. Let's see. I got a grand soul. What can I put on a ring that would be good? What's my current ring, right? Minor destruction, 12% less to cast. So if I were to enchant a gold emerald ring, fortify alchemy by 8%, fortify conjuration. Actually, can I, hang on, if I back out, can I make my enchantments more powerful? Yes, I can. Okay. So that should be improved, broadly. Let's try that again. We got the ring, we got Fortify Alchemy 11% stronger, Conjuration 11%, Destruction 11%, Health 28 points, Lockpicking 18%, don't hate that. Magicka by 28 points, Magicka 28% faster, that's, I can work with that. That might actually be worth more than the, destruction costing less. Let's... Yay... Yeah, I think that. sorry, soul gem. Yes. Yes. Okay. That ups enchanting a little bit, which is nice, but also I think I can now swap out that ring. With that, I think our build is in a slightly better place. I think something is weighing me down. I could do with selling a couple of books, actually. Oh, I actually didn't mean to go out to Skyrim, but that's fine. You know, here's the thing. Oh, wow. I literally just picked these. Sweet. Hey, never mind. I was gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna, you know, hop out of Skyrim and talk to chat for the last little bit of stream. But I am in fact going to go drop all my alchemy shit off again. Turns out. News to me, but, let's see. Yes. Come on. Lunar Lorcan. I never did learn the lunar enchantment, which I never use, but I know is a thing that you can only get in a very particular place in the game, so I tend to have sort of a collector's mindset when I'm doing, enchanting or alchemy. Like, I want to know all the recipes and all the effects of all the ingredients, even if I'm not actually going to use them. Okay. And yeah, I think we can save here. And exit on out. And then jump back to the home screen. There we go. Alright, and then switch back to just chatting, because that's where I am. There we go. And done. Yes, just chatting. Alright, cool. And it seems to just be me in here, so I'm less worried about wrapping up stream a little early. I try not to make a habit of checking my view count, because I know that's how you go insane as a small streamer. But I did, at the very least, want to double check now, because I'm hungry, and if there was someone in here, I would put the effort in, because I'm, you know, scheduled to be streaming for another 20 minutes. I would want to sit and chat. But I am hungry and there's nobody here. So what I will say is, anybody watching this on YouTube, to what degree did you find the reading of the public domain work interesting? Was it, if you did find it interesting, was it more that it was an old OSS document, or was it just the idea of having a reading stream generally? Because anything in the public domain I can do that with. So if that is a popular idea, I would be more than happy to make that a regular thing. I sort of like it conceptually. I certainly don't cold read perfectly, but I do reasonably well. So that's a skill I'd be more than happy to put to use. And for anybody watching in the future, I hope your life's going well. You know? I don't know what's going on in your specific situation, but, you know, I hope things are going better than they were last week. Not any specific week, just last week. Hope you're on an upward trend. Alright, with that, I believe I'm finished for the day. Everybody have a good one.